All right, so this week we're going to be discussing Module 5, beginning the presentation or the sales presentation. As usual, we're going to go over 2 weeks worth of assignments that were due or that are due. We're in week 11, March 22nd. What's due for March 28th would be the Module 5 portfolio project, ethical scenario number 2, a reflection for Module 5, and then role play sales calls. Or sales call is just one call, one role play you have to reflect on. And then for week 12, March 29th, we're going to also continue on with Module 5. So the Module 5 knowledge check will be due on April 4th by 11:59 p.m., as well as the Module 6 portfolio project rough draft, the value proposition assignment, and the final assessment reflection assignment. So to get to the Module 5 assignments, again, they're all listed right here and when they're due. To get to there, you go into Blackboard, go into Modules, go to Module 5, beginning the presentation, and then go into the assignments area. The knowledge check, again, that's due by April 4th, 2021. You'll have two attempts for the Module 5, and you can do that all in Blackboard. You don't have to worry about submitting a Microsoft Word document again. And then you have your Module 5 portfolio project assignment, Module 5 reflection, as well as the final assessment. For Module 6, these are all due by April 4th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. You'll have your portfolio project ethical scenario 3 due, the value proposition, and the final assessment for the role play sales call. Again, that's all due by April 4th, 2021. Any questions? All right, so today again we're going to be discussing Module 5, the beginning of the presentation. When it comes to preparing for a presentation, you have to know the features and benefits of a product that you're trying to sell. However, the biggest thing to remember is to relate whatever features or benefits the product has to a customer's needs. When you're giving the presentation, you're just like an actor or an actress giving a performance where you need to communicate the enthusiasm and the passion for how the service or the product can help a customer fulfill whatever need they want fulfilled. As with every good actor, you have to practice your lines. And this is the same as when you're trying to sell something. As you're traveling between offices or to different client locations, you want to repeat your sales pitch or your sales presentation as if it's your first time ever communicating that pitch. Anytime you give a customer a feature or benefit of a product or service, you must relate that to how that would help the customer. Many sales reps make the mistake of telling a potential customer every single feature or every single benefit that a product has without even finding out what's the most important thing to the customer. This is where the spin selling technique comes into hand. The spin selling technique is a technique that helps salespeople more effectively question the prospect to tailor whatever presentation they're giving to meet the needs of the customer. It was developed by Neil Rackham um, back in the early 2000s, where he did a study on 35,000 sales calls. And from that research, it was uncovered that the quality of questions asked by a salesperson was the key to a successful sale. So by asking the right questions, you can easily close a sale, while asking the wrong questions may in fact give you don't allow you to close the sale. So you have to ask the right questions to close a sale. The term spin is an acronym for four different types of sales questions designed to bring a potential customer's interest. It's designed to pique it, which would hopefully lead to a sale. So you have your situation questions, your problem questions, your implication questions, and then your need questions. I'm going to briefly describe each question, each type of question, and then give a few examples for each one. So the situation questions are used to collect facts. This is used by a lot of inexperienced salespeople to to get a sense of what the situation is. Often situation questions can be answered as part of the prospecting process. You only want to ask the essential questions, as prospects quickly become impatient if there are too many questions being asked. If you were trying to sell some type of equipment, some example questions could be: what equipment are you currently using? How long have you been using that equipment? Is the is it purchased or paid for, or is it leased? And how many people use that equipment? Problem questions are used to probe for questions or points of dissatisfaction, or even general difficulties that a potential customer is having. Answers to these types of questions will direct you toward the core need of the prospect. Again, using the example of selling some type of equipment, some of the example questions that you can use are you satisfied with the, the current equipment that you're using? What are the disadvantages of the way you're doing it now? How difficult is it to process orders with the current system? And what reliability problems does the current equipment have now? Implication questions are used to probe the consequences of a problem or a point of dissatisfaction or general difficulty. When a prospect answers an implication question, they should feel that the problem is larger and more urgent than they originally felt like. So, some example questions for that would be: does your overtime expense increase when your equipment goes down? Do bottlenecks or problems result because you only have two people who can operate the ordering processing system? And then another question would be something like: are you experiencing high turnover or training costs because of the difficulty that your employees are having in operating your equipment? Again, these implication questions probe for consequences, and the answers from these implication questions make the problem that a potential customer is having and make it seem a lot larger or more urgent than they originally felt. Need questions are used to uncover a core need or something like a buying motive of a potential customer. These questions focus on the customer's attention on the solution rather than the problem. Answers to need questions will get the potential customer to tell you the type of benefits they're looking for. So by asking questions like, how do you feel a faster machine will help you? Or would it help if a new system could reduce your employee turnover? Or is there any other way that a machine might help? These type of questions, again, answers needs of a potential customer. by telling you the benefits they're looking for. Any questions? So I emailed you last Thursday or Friday with two cases. You're going to do the first case today, and you're going to answer the questions number one and number two with a minimum of 150 words for each answer that you submit. So I'm expecting at least 300 words in the document. You have to email that Word document to me by the end of today at 11:59 p.m. During your group meetings, I will be available for a one-on-one check-in with you. So if you have any questions about any missing assignments or anything else you might have about the class, you're free to ask. And as always, complete your weekly journal entries. This is how you get to the journal entry. The topic is the same as it's been in previous weeks, where you just discuss what you learned in today's class. And if there's anything that you would like me to cover or review in next week's class, and I'm expecting a minimum of 50 words.